Your entire life is running on autopilot, and 95 of your life is pre-programmed. Sounds dramatic, maybe even a little crazy, but think about it. Right now you believe you are making your own choices. What to eat, what to wear, whether to keep watching this video. But what if I told you, your brain already decided all of that for you, before you even realized it? Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the half of your life was not really your choice. That the thing you chase, the way you react, even your fears, were installed in you like a software. Kinda creepy, right? Neuroscience have proven that your subconscious mind makes choice up to 7 seconds before you think you are making them. 7 whole seconds. So right now, you might believe you are deciding to keep watching. But what if that choice was already made for you? It's like playing a video game where you think you are controlling the character, but someone else has been holding the controller all this time. And I know what you are thinking. Well, that's just great. Guess I'll sit back, let the simulation play itself, and hope for the best, right? Not so fast. There is a way to break free, a way to take control. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to hack your own brain. So let's go. You are not actually making most of your decisions. Your brain is. And trust me, it doesn't even ask for permission. Ever had that moment where you open your fridge, stare inside for no reason, then close it only to open again 10 seconds later? What exactly were you expecting? A surprise pizza delivery? Or maybe you've been driving, lost in thought, and suddenly realized you have no memory of the last 5 minutes of the road. You weren't even thinking about driving, but somehow you did not crash. That's not magic. That's autopilot. Your brain loves shortcuts. It's designed to save energy. So instead of processing every single decision from scratch, it built routines, patterns, scripts. The things you do most often, they get burned into your neural pathways, like a pre-installed program. And that's great for brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. You don't want to relearn that thing every day. But what about a big stuff? What about your way to react when someone criticizes you? The way you handle stress? The way you fall into the same toxic habits over and over again? Because if your brain just replaying all scripts, then at what point do you stop being a driver and just become a passenger? And here's the real question. If you're not the one in control, then who is? You think you are making your own choices. But what if I told you that most of those choices were never really yours to begin with? From the moment you were born, your brain started absorbing information, picking up patterns, and learning how to act. Not because you decided to, but because the world around you shaped you. Take food, for example. You probably think you like certain things because they taste is good, right? But have you ever wondered why you crave fries instead of, say, a bowl of raw broccoli? Spoiler alert, it's not just your taste buds. It's marketing. It's social conditioning. For decades, billion-dollar companies have programmed your brain to associate salty, crispy goodness with happiness. Ever notice how fast food commercials don't focus on the food? Instead, they show laughing friends, happy families. People live their best lives, all while holding a burger. That's not accident. That's programming. And it's not just food. It's everything. The clothes you wear, the trends you follow, the thing you want in life. So much of it comes from world around you, not from some deep, conscious decision you made. Social media algorithms decide what you see, shaping your opinions before you even form them. Advertisers don't sell products, they sell identities, making you believe you need something to be happy, successful, and attractive. Ever wonder why different cultures have completely different ideas of beauty, success, and happiness? It's not because people chose those values. It's because they were given to them, just like yours were given to you. So let me ask again, how much of your life is actually yours? And if you did not choose it, then who did? The real problem isn't just that you are running on autopilot, it's that you don't even realize it. And once these programs are installed into your brain, they run completely on their own, over and over again, without you even noticing. I know this because I have seen it happen to myself. There have been times when I got overwhelmed, stressed, or frustrated. And before I even realized it, I was snapping at the people closest to me. I was not choosing to react that way. It just happened. The words were coming out from my mouth. The frustration was pouring out. And in the middle of it, I'd think, why I'm doing this? It was not some rational decision. It was an old program running on its own. And the scariest part, I only noticed it after it already happened. Like my brain had already hit play on an emotional script before I had chance to stop it. Maybe you felt this too. Maybe you've had moments where you knew you did not want to react that way, but it felt automatic. Maybe you've caught yourself repeating the same mistakes, saying the same things, falling into the same bad habits, like you are stuck in a loop and you can't escape. That's because your brain is not thinking, it's remembering. It's pulling from past experiences and running the same patterns over and over again. And the more you repeat something, the stronger that pattern gets. Your brain loves efficiency. So, if it can automate a reaction, it will. That's why bad habits are so hard to break. That's why people keep making the same mistakes. That's why you can tell yourself 100 times that you will change, and yet somehow you don't. Because by the time you think you are making a decision, the decision has been already made. But here's the good news. Just like any program, these patterns can be rewritten. You just have to learn how to hack your brain. But how do you break free from a program that's been running your entire life? Most of people think change happens by willpower. Just decide to do things differently and boom, problem solved. But if that actually worked, we'd all be perfectly disciplined, happy and successful, right? The truth is, you can't just think your way out from autopilot. Your brain doesn't work like that. You have to interrupt the pattern. You have to force it to wake up. And here's the 4 steps on how to do it. Step 1. Catch yourself in the act. The first step to taking control is realizing when you have lost it. Start paying attention to those moments when you're acting on autopilot. Whether it's scrolling your phone without thinking, reacting to someone in the same ways you always do, or repeating a habit you swore you'd stop. Because if you don't see it, you can't change it. Step 2. The 5-second rule. Whenever you catch yourself to repeat an old pattern, pause. Cut down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This tiny delays gives your conscious mind a chance to step in before the autopilot takes over. It sounds simple, but it works. That 5-second gap can be a difference between snapping at someone or taking a breath, between procrastinating or actually getting started. Step 3. Change the script. Your brain is like a muscle. It gets stronger at whatever it practices. So, if you keep reacting in the same way, that pattern will get stronger. But if you replace it with something new, your brain will start to rewire itself. For example, instead of saying, "I always mess this up," say, I'm learning to how to get better. Instead of thinking, I have to do this, think, I get to do this. Instead of reaction with frustration, practice responding with curiosity. The more you change the script, the more control you take back. Step 4. Question everything. Next time you crave something, react emotionally, or make a choice, stop and ask yourself, did I actually decide this? Or was this programmed into me? Because if you never stop to question the system, you'll stay stuck inside. And here's the best part. Once you start waking up from autopilot, you'll realize how much power you actually have. The big question: who's really in control? So here's the truth. 95% of your life is already programmed. Your habits, your emotions, even your beliefs. They've been shaped by things you weren't even aware of. But those 5% of moments, those rare moments when you wake up and take control, that's where real change happens. Because here's the thing, most people will go their entire life without ever questioning the program they are running. They'll wake up, go to work, scroll their phones, complain about the same situation, react the same way, and do it all again next day, believing that's just who they are. But that's not true. You are not your habits. You are not your reactions. You are not just the sum of the automatic loops your brain runs on repeat. You are the one who can rewrite them. And no, I'm not saying you have to suddenly become a monk and meditate in cave for 10 years to rewrite your brain. You don't need to escape to the mountains or delete your account at social media and life off the grid. Unless, of course, that's your thing. The real change happens in the smallest moments. It's in that split second when you catch yourself reacting and decided to do some different. It's in the pause before you fall into some bad habit. It's in the realization that just because you've always done something in a certain way does not mean you have to keep doing it. Because the moment you start noticing the patterns, the moment you stop running on autopilot and take control even just for a few seconds, that's the moment when you become truly free. So, let me ask you one last time. Are you making your own choices? Or are they being made for you? And if you don't like the answer, what are you going to do about it? So, if you ever find yourself eating a chips at 2 a.m. or scrolling a TikTok for the 5th hour straight, just ask yourself, was this really my idea? And tell me, have you ever caught yourself acting on autopilot? What's one habit or reaction you know is not really your choice? Drop it in the comments. I read them all. And see you in the next video.